Turning now to our continuing coverage of the Donthe Lucas murder trial that could last well into March.
Yeah, our Colette Bordelon is on the way to the courtroom once again for day 3, joining us over the phone. And Colette, I know that testimony in yesterday's courtroom got pretty emotional. Firsthand, what did you hear and see?
That's right, Bree and Ira. So we are currently operating in an overflow room when we're in there because of COVID-19 precautions. Today should be the first day that I am actually physically allowed within the courtroom. But even in that overflow room, you can still feel the emotion. The majority of witnesses called by the prosecution on Thursday were all past friends of Schelling. They described her personality as bubbly, outgoing. They say she was excited to become a mom. One even describes her as the loudest person she has ever known, but in a good way. Now, the prosecution is more than likely using those descriptions of Schelling to drive home the point that she would not just disappear. They're also alleging both emotional and physical abuse on the side of Lucas towards Schelling. The friends testified to showing how Schelling's personality changed when she was dating Lucas, when she was texting Lucas, interacting with him. One of her college roommates testified that she would hear them argue constantly. She would hear Lucas call Schelling names like fat, ugly. Her direct quote is that Schelling soaked up those words like a sponge to the point that she became like a beaten animal. Obviously a very vivid image of what was going on in that relationship there. Now, meanwhile, Lucas's defense team did make a few points there on cross-examination of these witnesses. One of the big ones was that college roommate testified to seeing Lucas drive Schelling to work at least 24 times. They're using that piece of evidence to prove that it would be normal to have found Lucas's DNA in Schelling's car after she disappeared. Now, I'm expecting much more witness testimony today. I will be there pretty soon now, and we will have all of those live updates for you on Twitter. There's no live reporting, so I can really only send them out on breaks. But if you want to follow along on Twitter, we'll get those updates out to you, and, of course, have your complete coverage later this afternoon.